A couple years ago, during my single phase, praise the Lord, during that time in my life, right? And it's a beautiful time. I was living my best life. I remember when the Lord would tell me, don't try to rush this season. There's an appointed time for marriage. There's an appointed time for kids. He just laid it all out to me. This is a season of your life. Enjoy it. Don't miss it. You see, many times we're so anxious about the next season that we miss out on the work of God in the season that we're in. And so he began to reveal to me certain timelines, right? And then he began to speak to me about children and all these things. And when he spoke to me about kids, in particular, he revealed to me, I've always desired twins, right? And he revealed to me that there will be a time that you will have twins. And in the beginning, I desired twins for the wrong reason, so I could match with my kids. I believe matching is the sixth love language. Basically, he reveals to me that you're gonna have twins, and I saw them, a boy and a girl. And then he tells me, pray and speak life over your son that he does not die. I said, what in the world? I said, Lord, if there's going to be a future complication, you could handle it now. You are outside of time, right? You can go in time. And I was so confused that, really, I actually got irritated by that. I was like, what kind of message is this? So I just kept living my life. When I met my fiance, a couple months even into us dating and knowing that this is going to be serious and all that stuff, he calls me one morning and he says, I was in prayer and the Lord said I should tell you. First of all, I said, this is going to be an us thing, He said, the Lord said I should tell you to speak life and pray that we don't lose our son. Now, I've never told him anything. And I'm like, why is this same thing coming up, And I was just like, yeah, sure. I didn't even say anything after that. And I was irritated again. I'm like, God, if there's a problem, you could fix it, right? Months passed by. One particular day, I go into this panic. Sometimes there's an anxiety that comes upon you. You see, there are different forms of anxiety. There's anxiety that comes out of you, and there is one that comes upon you. And what I mean by that is the difference between anxiety that is natural and that which is spiritual. When the enemy wants to force a narrative on you and begins to taunt you about this idea, and the only moment it takes seed is when you begin to agree with it. And this thought came upon me. Oh, you're going to have two of everything. You're going to need to feed two, push out two, all these thoughts. And for women, pushing out too, like that. There are many things I want to say about that I think you will catch my drift. And all of a sudden, I began to panic. And I'm like, God, I literally said this. I said, God, I don't know if I want that anymore. That night, I fell asleep. In my dream, I was on an ultrasound table. You know how dreams are so interesting because things are happening that others are not seeing, but you know exactly.